Nvidia, though, is back in China. So after months of export bans, the U.S. just cleared Nvidia to ship its H2O AI chips, which is a watered-down version of its powerhouse H100. This move follows rare earth negotiations and signals a major shift in tech policy. Anna?
Let me walk you through it.
Yeah,
Get
I'm like,
ready.
It's like...
So understand that what I'm about to share with you is under the backdrop of the Trump administration, and quite frankly, the U.S. government, even under the Biden administration, constantly talking about China being our adversary. Right? So it seems to be a bipartisan thing. China's our enemy. We got to be careful. We should not share AI technology with them or chips with them because we are competing with them, especially in AI.
Right.
That's what we keep hearing over and over again. We need to deregulate as much as possible because if we don't deregulate, China's going to beat us in AI. So it's weird to me that suddenly Trump has done a 180 on allowing Nvidia to sell chips to China. So let me walk you through this. Now, there was the H2O chip. And Jillian, you're totally right. That was like the watered down version. The H2O graphics processing unit, or GPU, is an advanced AI chip, a type of device used to build and update a range of AI systems, but it is less powerful than NVIDIA's top semiconductors today. So Trump comes into office and he's like, no, I don't even want to send those chips to China. I'm banning it. Then all of a sudden, something really interesting happens. Trump has a meeting with the CEO of NVIDIA, okay?
Of course.
So this happened recently. His name's Wang. So Wang met with China and made the case that NVIDIA should be allowed to continue doing business in China. So get a load of this. This is a quote. So American companies can dominate AI instead of Chinese companies such as Huawei. Okay, pause. One of the arguments that we hear about China is that they constantly steal American IP, intellectual property. And we're supposed to be competing with China, so how does it make sense to do what Trump just did, which is lift the ban that he himself had implemented? Here's a headline from Politico. Trump keeps flip-flopping his policy positions after meeting with rich people. And obviously the CEO of NVIDIA is a very rich person. So basically, he has a meeting, and the CEO convinces Trump to do the 180. He does the 180. And I want to know what the quid pro quo was.
Do you
that there was some promise to Trump. And this is the kind of shady crap that happens under every administration. And we're all supposed to suck it up and just think that it's totally normal, but it's not normal. I want to understand how Trump implemented a ban because he saw value in that ban. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, I had a meeting, and we're not going to tell you what happened during that meeting. We're not going to talk about what kind of favors were traded during that meeting. But now I've done a 180, and these chips can be sent over to China.
Well, I think maybe the Occam's razor argument would prevail here, which is just campaign contributions. I think that might just be the simplest explanation. And Nvidia is truly a juggernaut. It's a leviathan. Right now in the stock market. It is powering the S&P 500. All the tech stocks right now is being propelled. And I think Jensen Huang saw the writing on the wall that if NVIDIA doesn't play in China, they're screwed.
Well, you saw what happened with DeepSeek. I was trying to get the numbers for you on that. Did you have the, okay, so earlier, I think it was this year.
DeepSeek was so much faster than anything.
It was the Chinese AI model that essentially put ours to shit, and it crashed NVIDIA's stock by 18%. I was trying to give you the exact number. So if that's a big part of our S&P 500, if I was to say...
That's precisely right.
Giving Trump a little bit of credit, maybe they went in and said, look what happened. If you don't let us play in this market, it's going to kill our company. We're one of the key pillars of the S&P 500. It's going to hurt everybody.
Jillian.
So play ball. So then he said, okay, I'm not going to give you the H100. I'll give you the H20.
But what's more important?
I'm not saying... I don't know.
I know. But like, I'm asking a question to our whole panel. What's more important, the return on investment for shareholders in NVIDIA or American national security?
From a politician's point of view,
question.
the return
They're
on
trying to
investment,
balance all of it.
because the return on investment, NVIDIA right now is so dominant, it's essentially in everyone's retirement portfolio. Like people who are retiring right now, they are riding high and sitting pretty because of NVIDIA. Stocks like Amazon, Meta right now, they're doing so well right now. I bought Nvidia when it was like $80. I've made like a 200% plus return.
God damn,
And
you want to take us to dinner?
what I mean is, like, I'm not the only one, though.
wanna see the wine
Millions
list.
of Americans around the country have seen similar returns because Nvidia, Trump knows that people would see an immediate impact. Because
Can I give you your immediate impact? Okay. The NASDAQ tech-heavy index fell 3.1% one day, that day with DeepSeek, right? And U.S. and global tech stocks lost approximately $1 trillion of total value one day.
And after Trump did his 180, literally the day after, Nvidia stock went up 4%.
Interesting.
There you go.
I've been very happy.
There you
I've been
go.
in a really good mood in the last couple months. Now I kind of know why. I just gotta say.
I mean, the whole DeepSeek thing was really interesting, though. I mean, do we know, was it really that much more advanced?
So
I mean,
much more advanced.
They put it out. What was interesting, though, is they put it out, everyone was signing up for it, and then it crashed and wasn't even sending the confirmation email to so many people out there. So a lot of people thought, is this like a data
It was like
grab
a beta
that they're trying
version.
to get your information?
It wasn't even the final version. And the thing that really scared Americans, scared me, is that it costs a tenth of the cost that it costs us to make our ChatGPT.
Fraction of the cost
exactly.
and energy use, which
Exactly.
is why many viewed it as superior. It was more efficient and more scalable.
Oh, there you go. I mean,
Maybe we should just accept that China's going to beat us. Maybe we should just give up American hegemony and accept that China's doing it better and help them, in fact. Let's help them out.
Well, the issue is that, like, the CCP is involved in every single. I know you're being facetious.
Yeah,
but
I am being facetious.
For anyone who doesn't know,
I'm being sarcastic.
Are you sure? We'll talk about
That was
talk about this
sarcasm.
later over dinner where Lindy's buying. But
I mean, the CCP is wrapped up in everything to do with China. There's no such thing as, you know, a business operating independently
Absolutely
from,
not.
you know, the intentions of the CCP.
It's basically
And
CCP
so
Inc.
It's like we're in such a weird position right now where, like you said, we need them. It's mutually assured destruction if one was to turn on the other. But at the same time, we're trying to compete with. Like, how do you even walk that tightrope?
I don't believe. Look, I'm just gonna say it. I don't think that Trump is worried about the retirement portfolio of like ordinary Americans. I'll give you another example. Trump was the first to say we're going to ban TikTok. But then one of his biggest donors,
Yass.
Jeffrey Yass, owns like majority stake in TikTok or something. Like
He's the Susquehanna investment group guy.
can I ask you guys, how in the world has he maintained that? Because I thought it was, I'm going to give it a stay for 100 days. We're 7 months in, the friggin' thing's still up and running.
I think
How?
Well,
He
he
just keeps
floods the
saying that
zone.
He has 90 more days, 90 more days. He keeps saying that.
Yeah.
Now we're another 90 more days.
Because
No one's even thinking about the TikTok ban anymore. That's how Trump operates. He floods the zone with like so many like crazy stories.
And it
it's
works,
the Bannon
though,
strategy, and it does work.
Yes.
It's the Bannon
It is
strategy.
The Bannon, you're right. I've seen him okay. Well, speaking of AI, the Pentagon just inked a $200 million deal with Elon Musk's XAI to deploy Grock 4. Yes, the same Grock that recently made headlines for going rogue online. Now, it's part of an $800 million push by the Department of Defense to bring cutting-edge AI into military and intelligence operations. So why is Grock, a chatbot infamous for calling itself Mecha Hitler, being handed access to national security infrastructure? How does this fit into the Pentagon's broader race to dominate AI on the global stage? Lindy, what does Grock for government mean?
Yeah. Also, the timing of a lot of the things that we discussed today has been really suspicious because this dropped a day after Elon and Grock had to apologize for deeply anti-Semitic and hateful comments that Grock was making not once or twice, but literally in response to any question having to do with Israel, the Jewish people. It was just terrifying.
There were also sexist comments in there, like
It was everything. It was
Well,
just
what
very
trains
bad.
Grock? What trains Grock is what people are talking about online, and there is a lot of anti-Semitism online.
Right. There are two forces at work here. It's whoever created the large language model and also what's available in the reservoir of information out there on Grock. And there's a lot of unfortunately, there are a lot of anti-Semites on X.
I mean, well, X is the only platform where you are able to ask questions. And going back to a previous show, there's a big difference between being like anti-Semitic and being like asking questions about the Israeli government. X is the only platform that allows you to do really either. Unfortunately, I mean, you know, it's the only free speech platform. We wouldn't want to put a block on that, but
yeah,
it's training the people who are feeding that model.
Absolutely. I do want to mention that this happened, and a day later, the CEO resigns. Linda Yaccarino is gone. And she continues to deny that this had anything to do with the Mecca Hitler imbroglio. She said that she's been planning on leaving X for a while now, and this is just coincidental timing. But she has told friends over the years that it's become exhausting to cover for Elon every time he says something alarming that scares advertisers away, because they don't want to see advertisements for their companies next to, I want all Jews dead. You know,
there. Australia actually banned it completely. Grock 4, yeah, Grock 4 specifically. So that model, previous models are allowed.
Because on X, I will say this, I like that Grock is something that you can kind of turn to get clarity on something, and oftentimes it's been correct, right? So for instance, someone posts something controversial or something contentious on X, it gets a big response and people want to know what the truth is, and oftentimes they'll get clarity. And from what I've seen so far, more often than not, Grock is accurate in providing context or clarifying something that's confusing about whatever the contentious issue is. I like that. I also love community notes. I think community notes is another great thing that Elon Musk did with X.
Yes.
But I think that one of the biggest mistakes we're making, or our government is making, is kind of putting the cart before the horse. AI technology isn't there yet. And so the idea that the Pentagon is adopting AI technology,
not just,
it hallucinates.
It makes
things up.
Yeah,
it's
hallucinates answers.
I literally have to ask you, like, I'm working on a book and I'm doing research on a food policy and like how we got here, and it will make shit up. I'm like, no, that can you send me the study and the research on? Oh no, it fabricates things. It's crazy.
$200 million, and we're out here. We just added $3.4 trillion of new debt, and just handed Elon Musk this massive contract. And this begs the question of what the heck happened with him and Trump, and why did he just get this reward? Does this have anything to do with his falling out with Trump? Is this like a consolation prize? Is this a way to silence someone?
Trump doesn't do consolation prizes.
Doesn't
Like,
it
it
really?
seems like
No.
they're still a lot, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
why
he's
did he
sharing.
just get this massive contract?
But also, can we please acknowledge the fact that Elon Musk loves to pretend like he wants to cut, government spending, but when it comes to himself and his own companies,
all for spending.
he loves the spending.
He loves the spending.
As long as it benefits him.
He is the ultimate welfare queen, with all due respect. And
Oh God.
Tens of billions of dollars in government contracts and subsidies.
Didn't he say
Put on my
publicly
chapstick and
before
let
that?
you guys discuss it.
Before they
Turns out
wanted
we're
to strip
attacking
that
Elon Musk,
provision,
we're all going to be
I
canceled.
thought
Okay.
that I had seen him saying that he just believes in just a genuine free market. He doesn't want incentives.
Yeah,
for these
sure.
Then don't
he
take the
loves
government
it.
money.
Then why did he get upset for Trump at Trump for doing away with electric
Do we
vehicles?
know that that is definitively why?
was also-
There's no way.
Hold on a second here.
Tesla right now is in the doldrums. They are suffering so much. The stock price has plunged 70%. The guy is hurting. His cars are being set on fire. His dealerships are being vandalized. He is not happy. And so I love the concept behind Doge. I truly applaud fiscal responsibility, but I applaud genuine fiscal responsibility, meaning across the board.
He did find some cuts though, and they voted no against it. Like, he did act. It wasn't the massive milestone that he wanted to achieve. But he did find some fraud and waste.
He promised us.
He shone a spotlight on it, and I think, whatever. Even if in implementation he wasn't able to really get it done, and whether that be because of him or because of obstacles that he encountered in Congress, I think the fact that people are actually going back to calling out mismanagement of funds, waste, fraud, and abuse, that I think has positively impacted the mindset of people to be aware of that. It's making Republicans, who are meant to be the fiscally responsible ones, remember, this is actually a part of our core tenets and values that we believe in.
I completely agree with that, but Elon Musk promises $2 trillion. What did he get? A few billion, 100 billion if we're lucky, and some of the math is really fishy. And I love what Thomas Massey is saying, but lip service, well, actually, I think with Tommy Massey, it's more than lip service because he generally holds those beliefs.
Yeah.
But talking about it is not enough. We are on an unsustainable trajectory here.
Yeah.
We cannot continue. Right? Our country right now is so heavily mortgaged.
Yes, yes. We're spending $1 trillion a year to service our debt. That's outrageous.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You know, and
I agree.
so this isn't just a conservative issue anymore. This is existential. We will no longer have a country anymore if we don't get our debt under control.
Why aren't they voting like it then?
Because these people are selfish, because they are captured by corporate
short-term
interests.
gain.
Exactly. They are governed by I'll be gone, you'll be gone mentality. They do not care about, they don't genuinely care about our country. They realize that Washington is a swamp and they cave. And that's why, you know, sometimes I just think like maybe I should just run for office like for
You
one
won't make
term.
it.
Exactly.
You will not.
Exactly.
Because you won't make it without the funding. And if you don't, if you got
if you're
if some, by
talking about
some
cutting
miracle
grants
you
and things
did,
like that.
you'd take a bullet. So,
Exactly.
but here's something just this is a bit off piece, but something to think about with Elon Musk. He makes a ton in China and off of China, far more than he makes here.
in the United States.
100% foreign-owned Tesla plant, which is like never happens in China. There's no local JV partner, like no partnership with the government. He built it with over $600 million in loans, grants, and tax breaks from the Chinese government, produces 1 million EVs a year, and China accounts for 37% of Tesla's global sales. Local production is much cheaper because he's using lower labor and logistics costs, which boosts his margin of profit. And it goes on and on and on, but it's this is all murky.
The one thing I'll say, and come on, you have to acknowledge how fair I am. Tesla does happen to be the car company that produces the most number of cars in the United States as well. Yeah, so especially when it comes to final assembly, Tesla, you know, has invested in the United States, and I got to give Musk props for that. But you are also correct that he is heavy in the, you know, Chinese economy.
Chinese investors have funneled tens of millions into SpaceX, XAI, and Neuralink. By the way, these investments are routed through the Cayman Islands, BVI, or Hong Kong structures. Like, nobody is a good guy here.
You know,
you don't get to be a multi-billionaire by being a good guy.
Yeah,
you just don't.
That's
I'm not
totally right.
No offense, Elon. Maybe you have the best intentions.
I might catch some flack for this, but I'm actually kind of sympathetic to the guy, especially because I originally thought that his genesis for Tesla was caring about the environment and wanting to wean ourselves off of fossil fuels. But now I realize that he's just really bent on colonizing Mars. Like, he really wants humanity to be extraplanetary. An opportunity to make money.
Yeah, because we were moving in that direction, right? We were moving in the direction of electric cars. He is a business-minded guy. He's really good at it. And he developed Tesla.
But
Find a need and create a superior product. Like,
now I realize that like clean air and clean water, they're not actually things he cares about.
No.
No, don't you remember when he got into Bitcoin?
Yeah.
And then learned that it was the hardest on the environment.
But he used the mantle of environmentalism, which I genuinely hold, as his, he pretended like he really cared about it.
And
he does. He'd be a great politician. He's really like all the characteristics of an American politician these days.
Thank you so much for watching Her Take. If you like the show, can you help us out by subscribing to the channel, clicking the notification button, sharing, commenting, joining the conversation? It helps us out a ton with the algorithm. We appreciate you.